Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss about root locus technique. But before going for root locus technique, few concepts should be clear to each and every student. So these concepts are very important that initially I am going to discuss, which is actually the basic concept of root locus. So let's get started. So, the primary idea of root locus is the relation between open and closed loop poles. Now, what is actually a open loop pole and what is actually a closed loop pole? We all know that this system, what is given here, it is a very standard expression of a closed loop in control system. Now here, if we want to get the closed loop transfer function from this, if we want to get the closed loop transfer function, it will be GS by 1 plus GS into HS. So this whole transfer function, that is CS by RS, will be actually the closed loop transfer function, and it is actually GS by 1 plus GS HS with a negative feedback. Now these transfer function, we know for a transfer function the numerator is giving us the zeros of a system and the denominator is giving us the pole of the system. So as it is a closed loop transfer function, naturally 1 plus GSHS, the factor, if we take the factor 1 plus GSHS, and this will give, if we factorize it, and this will give us closed loop poles. Again, we can also know that this, where if we take 1 plus GSHS and equate it with 0, it is giving us the characteristic equation. It is giving us the characteristic equation. Okay. So 1 plus GSHS equal to 0. If you solve this, the roots of this equation is nothing but the factor of closed loop poles. So we can also write that roots of characteristic equation is equal to closed loop poles. Roots of characteristic equation is basically closed loop poles. Now, so this is the closed loop pole, and we know that the system stability is actually dependent on closed loop poles of the system. If these closed loop poles are in the left half of S-plane, if the closed loop poles are in left half of S-plane, the system is stable. Otherwise, the system is unstable. This part we all know. Now, what we are going to do, now this closed loop pole, what about the open loop pole? So open loop pole, what is open loop pole? Open loop pole is something where the poles are in the open loop transfer function. Now, what is open loop transfer function or open loop system? Now in open loop system means where the loop is open. This feedback loop is open. And what system we are getting? So the open loop transfer function is basically the loop transfer function of the system. The open loop transfer function is defined as the loop transfer function of the system. Here what has happened? The loop anyhow the loop is broken. So the open loop transfer function means when the loop is open and it is defined by the loop transfer function GS into HS. So open loop pole means the poles of GS into HS. Open loop poles equal to poles of GS into HS. This is basically open loop pole and this is closed loop pole. Roots of characteristic equation gives us open loop pole and GSHS gives us open loop poles. So from the characteristic equation we can say this is our characteristic equation, GSHS equal to 0. That means I can write that GS into HS is equal to minus 1. Now what is GSHS? GSHS is nothing but open loop transfer function. So these condition, that is the closed loop pole and open loop pole, is having a relation. So this is basically known as stability condition. This condition is known as stability condition and generally it is written as GSHS equal to minus 1 plus J0. This is very important concept of stability in control system, but we will discuss it afterwards. Now let me discuss, as we have the name indicates, as actually we are doing the preliminaries for root locus technique, and what is the relation between these open and closed loop poles with the root locus. Let us discuss that. Now if I take the term root locus, what does it mean? Root means closed loop poles. Root means closed loop poles and locus means path. So root locus means path of closed loop poles. So that means if we can able to get the path of closed loop poles, we can able to get the locus of the roots or root locus. Now how we can able to get the path, or what is the meaning of path of closed loop poles? Just understand with a simple example. Let us talk about a simple first order system. This is a simple first order system and it is having a transfer function like this. Suppose this is our GS. Okay, so if I write it, it will be 1 by RC S plus 1 by RC. So this is the system itself. Now if I can able to make this is a open loop transfer function. This is the system itself. Now if I want to take the output and put it back in the input side, that means I am adding a feedback path to it. And if I do this and if I draw this in terms of control domain, so I am adding few things. First is, suppose this is the actual input and with respect to the system. This is the actual input. I am adding a variable factor of amplifier gain with it. It is variable. This is variable. Suppose this is a value k. I am adding it up with the system transfer function gs. And I am getting the output as CS. And I am taking a unity feedback. H is equal to 1. And I am putting it in the input side. So now this is actually the block diagram of this particular physical system. So this is a system. It is GS. System was GS. The feedback path was HS equal to 1. So open loop pole will be GS into HS. So the open loop pole will be open loop transfer function is GS into HS. So that will be 1 by RC by S plus 1 by RC. That means the open loop pole OLP is S plus 1 by RC equal to 0. So this will be actually S equal to minus 1 by RC. So this is the open loop pole. This is the open loop pole of this system. Now let us talk about the closed loop poles. So what is closed loop transfer function? Closed loop transfer function. It will be GS by 1 plus GSHS. That means it will be, here there is a K. So K into GS by 1 plus GS into HS. So that means, this is basically GS into 1 plus GSHS. So as this is basically multiplied with the system, so the whole system is K into GS. So that means this is becoming the value of K. So the transfer function is here coming K into K by RC divided by S plus 1 by RC by 1 plus K by RC divided by GS into HS. HS is 1. So if I simplify this part, it is becoming K by RC by this S plus, so it is becoming K by RC by whole this S plus 1 by RC plus K by RC. Okay. So as RC is a constant value, so just let us consider this K by RC is a new factor. It is, and K is a variable factor. So you are dividing this variable factor with RC constant value. So now the new factor K1, it is also a variable factor. So now the thing is that there is a constant 1 by RC and a variable factor attached with the poles of the system. So when we are putting a feedback, you can able to imagine that this factor k is actually by any means this part is coming in the denominator of the system. This part in the feed forward system is actually coming in the denominator of the system. And if we take the closed loop pole from it, that means now the closed loop pole will be S equal to minus 1 by RC plus K1. This K1, where K1 is a variable factor. And say consider this value of K can be, we can change the value of K. We can vary the value of K from 0 to 100 suppose. So this K1, that means K by RC can be varied from 0 to a certain value. So if I vary the value of K, the value of K1 is also varied. Now suppose when the value of K, so if I consider the closed loop poles and as the K1 is variable, we can get different values of closed loop poles. Suppose if we start with value of K equal to, suppose we start for value of K, initially this value of K is equal to 0. That means here the S equal to S closed loop is actually minus 1 by RC. That is, it is actually the same as open loop pole. Now, if I take the value of K equal to 1, suppose I am taking the value of K is equal to 1. So, now the value SC is becoming minus 1 by RC minus, minus of 1 by RC plus 1. Okay. Similarly, if I take value of K equal to 2, the position of the closed loop pole is now changed. So it will be now 1 by RC plus 2. That means if I draw the closed loop poles, try to draw the closed loop poles. Suppose initially okay, suppose initially the open loop pole was here. This is value of 1 by RC. Suppose this is 1 by RC position. Now you can understand, if I take this 1 by RC, if I take R and C equal to 1, suppose R and C equal to 1, whatever be the value, these K1 value, when we are adding it up with RC, that means the position of the pole is actually changing. That means initially with K equal to 1, the position of pole was, with K equal to 0, the pole was here. Now with K equal to 1, the pole is shifting in the left hand side. Suppose the pole is now at here. And with 2, the pole is again shifting in the left hand side, more and more towards the left hand side. So if I take the value of K towards infinity, so the pole is going towards the infinity. So the pole is approaching towards the infinity. Now if I join these paths, if I join these closed loop poles and join this path, this is actually the path of closed loop poles. In this way, with this path, the closed loop poles has shifted towards infinity if we change the gain factor, this value is the gain factor. If we change the value of gain factor by virtue of this path, the poles, closed loop poles, has shifted towards infinity. So this path is called the root locus or path of closed loop poles. I hope you have understood. In the next coming video, I will let you know how we will get the root locus of a second order system. So, for today, thank you.